Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me today because we have some very exciting General Hospital news to talk about, and it's definitely worth the wait. I've been watching General Hospital longer than some of you have been married, and let me tell you, this week's story with the Quartermains really got me leaning forward in my recliner. Tracy and Brook are inviting sweet Trina Robinson over to that big old mansion sometime between April 27 and May 1. When she walks through those doors, Tracy's going to be glowing with happiness, smiling from ear to ear as she hands Trina a nice little box. Brook will be standing right there beside her, looking just as thrilled, almost like she can hardly wait for Trina to open it. At first glance, I thought it was going to be something fun and harmless. Maybe they want Trina to try out some new deception products, or even ask her to be a model for their next campaign. Trina's such a pretty young woman with that bright smile and warm personality. She'd look wonderful in front of the camera. I could already picture her opening that box and finding fancy creams, lipsticks, or some fancy new skincare line. Wouldn't that be nice? Just a friendly visit between the ladies, a little girl talk, and everybody leaves feeling good. I even said to myself, well, that's a pleasant change from all the usual fighting and scheming in Port Charles. But you know me, I've seen too many episodes to believe it's that simple. Tracy Quartermain has never done anything without a plan tucked up her sleeve. She's one sharp lady, always thinking 3 steps ahead. I reckon the real reason for this little get-together is a whole lot more calculated. While they're sipping tea and chatting nicely, Tracy's probably going to gently steer the conversation toward Jordan Ashford's accident. She'll want to know exactly what the police have found out about that driver who hit Jordan and then ran off like a coward. Tracy will ask it real smooth, like it's just neighborly concern, but we all know she's digging for information. On top of that, she's clearly trying to win Trina over. If Trina starts feeling welcome in that big Quartermain house, if she likes Tracy and Brook, then maybe she'll go home and say nice things to Curtis. Tracy's hoping Trina will tell Curtis how kind and generous the family is, so he won't have any reason to get suspicious or start poking around in their business. It's the old keep your friends close kind of thinking. I've seen this kind of thing in real life too, folks trying to butter someone up so they don't look too hard at what's really going on. Life's full of those little games, isn't it? We all want to protect our own, but sometimes we go about it in sneaky ways. I sat there chuckling to myself while watching because I can already see where this might go wrong. Tracy's plan sounds clever, but if she lets Trina spend too much time talking one-on-one with Brook, it could blow up right in her face. Brook got such a big heart, and she's not nearly as careful as her grandmother. That girl sometimes lets words tumble out before she thinks twice. One innocent little comment, one small slip about family secrets, and suddenly Trina might hear more than Tracy ever wanted her to know. Then all that hard work to win Trina over could turn into trouble instead. You know, these stories hit me right in the heart because they remind me so much of real family life. We all have secrets we try to keep buried. We all try to steer things the way we want them to go, especially when it comes to protecting the people we love. But sooner or later, the truth has a funny way of coming out, usually when we least expect it. Trina's already been through so much in her young life. She's smart, she's kind, and she's got a good head on her shoulders. I sure hope she doesn't end up caught in the middle of all this Quartermain mess. She deserves real friendships, not to be used as a pawn in somebody's game, even if it comes wrapped in a pretty gift box and sweet smiles. I've always loved how General Hospital mixes the big dramatic moments with these quieter, smarter scenes. It's not just yelling and fighting, it's people trying their best to handle complicated situations the only way they know how. Watching Tracy work her magic this week makes me smile because she's such a classic character. Tough as nails on the outside, but she really does care about her family deep down. Still, I'm rooting for Trina to keep her eyes wide open. Young folks like her need to learn early that not every friendly invitation comes without strings attached. Anyway, I'm settled in with my coffee every afternoon this week, just like I have for years. There's something comforting about following these characters through all their ups and downs. It makes my own little problems seem smaller somehow. So grab your sweet tea or whatever you like to sip on, get comfortable in your favorite chair, and let's see how this visit between Trina, Tracy, and Brook turns out. I have a feeling it's going to be more interesting than it looks on the surface. I'll be thinking about it all week long, wondering if Tracy's plan works or if Brook big heart ends up spilling the beans. These soap opera stories may be make-believe, but they sure do feel close to home sometimes, don't they? I'm right here with all of you, enjoying every minute of it. Can't wait to see what happens next. At first glance, it looks like a friendly visit. Maybe they want her to try some new deception products or do a little modeling. That would be nice and simple. But knowing Tracy, there's almost always something else cooking underneath. I figure she's planning to gently ask Trina about Jordan Ashford's hit-and-run accident, what the police know, who they're looking at, that sort of thing. At the same time, she's hoping to win Trina over so the girl will go home and say nice things to Curtis. If Trina likes him, maybe Curtis won't start poking around too much in their business. Here's where it gets really interesting. I've got a strong feeling Trina might overhear something she's not supposed to. Maybe she catches Brooklyn and Tracy talking about what really happened that night. Or even Brooklyn chatting away with little Phoebe, spilling things without realizing anyone's listening. If Trina finds out Brooklyn was the one driving the car that night, well, that changes everything, doesn't it? Now, from what I understand, Brooklyn had no idea she'd been in an accident. She just kept driving. She'd had a little wine earlier, but she wasn't drunk, and she sure didn't cause the crash. Still, that doesn't make it any less serious. If Trina hears the truth, I can see her walking right up and having a serious talk with both of them. Tracy and Brooklyn will probably try their best to convince her to keep quiet. They'll talk about family, about protecting people, about second chances. And then there's the bigger picture with little Phoebe. The adoption situation is hanging by a thread. Brooklyn and Harrison Chase have been dreaming about building a real family together. If this secret comes out, it could ruin their chances of adopting in the future. That's a heavy weight for any young woman to carry. I keep asking myself, will Trina keep their secret? It would feel like a real betrayal to Curtis and Jordan, who deserve to know the truth about what happened to Jordan. But at the same time, I can see how torn Trina might be. She's got a good heart. On top of all that, Curtis is starting to point fingers at Isaiah Gannon, thinking he might be the driver. If Trina learns the truth and realizes Curtis is wrong about Portia's boyfriend, she's going to be in a tough spot. Telling the truth could hurt people she cares about. Staying quiet could eat away at her inside. That kind of choice is exactly what makes this show so addictive after all these years. I sat back in my chair and thought how much this feels like real life. We all make mistakes. We all try to protect the people we love. Sometimes we bend the truth a little, hoping nobody gets hurt. But secrets have a way of growing bigger, don't they? Tracy's clever plan might just blow up if too many people start talking. One wrong word from Brooklyn, one honest moment from Trina, and the whole thing could come tumbling down. I'm telling you, this storyline is heating up fast with lots of surprises and twists coming. I can't wait to see what Trina decides and how Brooklyn handles the pressure. These characters feel like old neighbors to me now, flawed, complicated, but still worth rooting for. So grab your coffee or sweet tea, settle into your favorite spot, and let's watch this unfold together. General Hospital still knows how to pull at your heartstrings and keep you guessing. I'll be right here thinking about it all week, wondering if truth wins out or if another secret manages to stay hidden just a little longer. You take care now, and I'll see you on the next episode, my friends.